Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a short transmission because many things are shifting in my life. I do want to move very soon, and how soon that will be is probably in the timeline of the next 6 months, or at least try to live out of a backpack. So I'm constantly shifting, I'm constantly transforming. So if you resonate with this message, and if you also have a mess in your house, in your apartment, in your room, wherever you are, this is probably a message for you, especially if you are thinking of like big changes to who you are and you just want to upgrade yourself in a way. So give me 1 second. Alrighty, so as we shift, right, there's this strong energy that tries to hold us back in our past timelines, right? So people come in, situations come in, we are being placed in certain environments to be tested. So these great tests come from the Most High God for you to reevaluate, for Him to reevaluate if you are ready. So usually finances or relationships or whatever we wish for and desire for doesn't come in because we are overly attached to outcomes, right? So what I'm doing personally is, first of all, trying to shift and move stagnant energy. And a lot of stagnant energy comes from old hand-me-downs or things that we're clinging on to that have a sentimental value. So once we start to make our lives a bit more minimized of stressors, we look for many different things. So what I've been doing is reevaluating my friendships, my relationships, my wardrobe of the items that I wear because they give me comfort, or the items that I feel good in. And I brought up a suitcase from the basement and I'm just putting, my favorite sweaters, my favorite pants, my favorite leggings, things that might come in handy, in Azores, because the weather there is quite rainy, even in summer. So whenever I'll be traveling, I need to think of what's useful, what brings me comfort, and also something that I feel fancy in, right? But to not overpack. And I've been looking at my shoe collection because I've been taking stuff out of my room, and because my room has been pretty much a garage for me to sort through, which was my whole last year when I was, in my own apartment, and I had to move everything in like 3 days, but one actual moving day before going back to work on the other side of my country. So, my OGs, it was a tough period, right? So there was a lot to sort through, a lot of energy to keep reevaluating, right? So I have these items and I have these stuffed animals, like, this cute little mouse or something, or this cute little bunny rabbit, and I just brought them up from the basement, right? So now we're speaking kind of in a feng shui, energetic movement type of way. So each one of these, besides Labubus, right, represent kind of like a timeline in my life, because I did get stuffed animals as a teenager, as a 20-year, in my 20s. Sorry guys. So, a lot of these stuffed animals are connected to timelines in which I haven't thrived. So what I did was, embrace the fact that I have a heart and that I like stuffed animals and that they are mine. And I washed them and I, brushed this little bunny until his eyes were visible. So he looks cute. And even though it reminds me of a very horrible timeline from 10 to 12 years ago, it's still a part of my energetic imprint, right? So I will not be taking this stuffed bunny with me because I will be trying to save space, and these are just unnecessary items, right? But because I can store them, I need to do that kind of in like a particular way, right? So before I go, I have to take care of stuff. And whatever you've been working on, you also had to take these steps. You had to first sit with yourself and reevaluate and make a plan. And then you had to start implementing that plan as a, you know, this is who I'm trying to be. And now I have different hobbies. Now I have different friends. Now I'd rather be alone, or now I'd rather focus on my work, or whatever it is, 555 on a timer. So you've been going through these massive changes, right? And the angels have been supporting you in giving you ideas on how to go about things, or at least your soul is searching for that easy to do it without too much stress type of, you know, going about it. So we've all been creeping and crawling and going fast at the same time with how our environments shift. And oh my god, never mind, 15:15, because it's literally 15, which is 3 p.m. And it's 15th May when I'm filming this. So a lot of balance comes from your home life, right? So your environment. And if your soul is anything like mine, you thrive in environments that are not familiar to you. So anything that expands your vision, your soul, your wisdom, your knowledge, you know, your energy, whatever expands your heart space is something that you're doing. And you keep getting all these distractions because you don't take the time to reevaluate that these are also stressors, right? So what I've been doing is I've reinstalled Instagram after 8+ years of not having it, and I just noticed that to some degree it gives me the same reasons to just delete everything, right? Even though it's like a great connection to many friends around the world, especially, you know, my my besties from Europe and England and everywhere. So it's kind of like these necessities, right, that are around you, but you can also limit them. And imposing limits upon your stressors is what you're doing right now. So what I've done is I've just turned off all notifications. So when I feel like I want to see 12 unanswered DMs, I'm going to open it. Until then, I am doing research, I am, you know, talking, I am like placing things around differently, and I'm feeling myself, right? I'm being in my body. I follow my intuition. So I dance when I want to, and I sing when I have the space to do it, right? When the apartment is empty and I can express myself, I will fully express myself. So a bunch of these, let's say, exercises of how I'm going about changing my whole life are actually very small but significant habits of cutting out my stressors. So because I have OCD, I'm stressed looking at the same scenery or the same nail color for more than 2 days. So I have to go along with myself, right? I have to first understand that I do have certain limits. I do have a bunch of stressors, and most of my relationships aren't the ones that I'm seeking, actually. And that's fair, you know, I'm across the stage of denial or grieving, right? and you might be as well. So the energy that was trying to speak was about coming from your head to your heart space, and that's one of the most important things to do in life when you feel lost. It's about coming back to yourself, which is, it connects you to everybody else as well, right? So Lyrans have come in, and they want to remind you that your mind is a very powerful tool that is constantly manifesting and creating webs of realities at all time. And creating reality which comes from the heart brings forth seeds that transmit love and light into your world. And yeah, in order to shift yourself into a state where you can fully unlock your gifts and potentials of fulfilling your purpose, of being here, being more in the state of heart center is the key. So there's a lot of justice energy in the air, where the Most High God and his angels are working overtime now more than ever in history of timelines. So it's quite important to understand that these shifts within your energetic spectrum are actually for you to understand certain things. That you have a mission here of constantly coming back to yourself, right? So if that was something that was really hard to do, it's because you are the one that has been full of heart and full of God's presence throughout your life, and you have always been protected in so many different ways, and there's a reason that you are alive to this day. Doesn't matter how fucked up your life was. You just had to go through things to keep reminding yourself and others that the heart space, the heart center, is the most important one, and usually the most neglected one, especially in this timeline of everybody wanting to be rich and famous, right? Just to thinking that money will solve all problems. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. But no, it's a karmic wheel, right? It's it's progression. It's climbing like Sisyphus in the Matrix, right? Not doing the things that you love or overdoing things for others usually results in you not taking care of your own heart space, and in turn helps you stay trapped in your mind, right? So I'm hearing that song by FX where he sings, ooh, if you only ever knew you're trapped in your mind, you're trapped in the zoo. And it's about really coming to that collective consciousness of thinking, being, and doing in the most high, in the most white light, right? So being really careful to not speak negative words to yourself or others creates the space to, you know, reevaluate certain things, and so on and so on. We have so many emotions and so many things to transmute, and these energies have always tried to keep you back from your success. And even though you might be stuck in cycles of poverty or less imagination and creativity, these are all blocks that are imposed because of the fact that you haven't filtered through your friends, your family members, your just stressors of incompatibility. It doesn't have to mean you know, completely cut out a whole branch of a family tree, not unless it's needed because of, you know, either narcissistic tendencies or bullying or whatever it might be, right? I'm not speaking about that, but sometimes we have to take a lot more time to decide what's for us and what isn't. Either it be a, a sweater or a whole boyfriend, right? So I'm here to remind you that you are of the Light Collective. You are of the Light Council as well, and they are supporting you. For those that are on the that are nearing your highest timeline, it feels like a breakdown, but it's actually a breakthrough. And the breakdown feeling or the depletion of energy actually comes from your entities attached to you trying to keep you stuck in your past timeline, right? So before you filter out everybody that doesn't have a good intention, you won't be blessed, because Most High God is protecting you and your blessings from these leeches, literally. And it's a very common topic in spirituality in general, but for those that haven't heard of it, this is a reoccurring theme across timelines and many past lifetimes, as well as this one. So it's better to come down a little bit, right? So if you are mind or overthinking oriented, or you are prone to anxiety and depression and those entities, it's because of the magnitude of your power that you are able to exude. And it's because you are a threat, right? You are a threat to the system, you are a threat to your work environment, you're a threat to other people's relationships, but you're just existing. And the more you exist in your heart space and less in your mind, the more you are projected in the frequency of, not being a threat unless it's to demons, right? So there's this huge gap. But what I'm seeing right now is really interesting. I'm seeing the chakra system. Let's pretend it's a tree of chakra bubble ores, whatever, auras. And even though the ascension of the energy going from base chakra to crown chakra is the mind being that of the third eye, when I speak of being in the mind, is actually having this space blocked, right? Because this space is blocked, and probably the whole shebang has been blocked, right? With so many punches into each and every one of your chakras. So us being anxiety ridden or depression prone is actually these, let's say, left eye and right eye fighting each other, right? Let's say left eye is for seeing the past and right eye is for seeing the future, right? But being mindful is being in the present moment, right? It's being in the full gratitude and enjoyment of the present moment. That's how you come into your heart space, with gratitude, with coming back to joy, finding ways to come back to joy. And that might be a pottery class. That's what I would like to do, right? Or just sifting sand, or I don't know, taking a bath. It doesn't have to be an enormous ritual. It's about what soothes your soul and what helps you come back into that womb feeling, right? So being in the womb is, for me, listening to thunderstorms on YouTube, 1919 on the timer, and crows cawing outside. Today is such a rainy day, and this week my brother is visiting, so a bunch of things have happened. I pre-filmed so I could upload, but I've mixed up some phone bill payments and I don't have a fast upload now, so I don't know when this will be posted, but it's okay, right? It's okay. I'll the money is already here, even though I don't have it in my hand. It's here. It's somewhere here, right? I'm gonna sell something or something. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna find a way, right? As well as I'm gonna find a way to get to my bigger plan, which is volunteering, working in Azores, which is a Portuguese island in the Atlantic Ocean, because I have lived a past life there and I just want to be there because my soul feels at home there, and I would like to spend a certain amount of time there because I'm feeling called to help those people. So in return, what I will get for my work is free accommodation and free food, and also free new background that, you know, looks like a tropical island. So these backgrounds are gonna get quite different, but I have to set things in place first because it will soothe my stressors, right? It will help me be able to focus. If I remove, I don't know, anything that irritates me and just put it in the basement and deal with it, I don't know, in 2 weeks when I'll have time for it, at least I'll be able to enjoy the free space of being able to work on my desk, being able to have a system of watering my plants and using all the boxes to sort, you know, to sort, this is for this trip, this is for the next trip. And also in a week or two, I will get some finances like tax return and I will be boosted up. So I'm already rich in spirit, right? So I'm keeping 15, 15, 15. Oh my God, do you see that? Yes, it's a dirty iPad. We all have one. If you have an iPad, I bet it's dirty. Yes, you can have OCD and have dirty iPads. Get off my dick. So, guys, I'm super excited to share many story times, but we will move through my move, and I will definitely film from different new locations. So I'm super excited about that. So if you would like to, you know, support me on my mission on saving the world from fear and all of that, and also help you as well with new channelings and new energy, I will leave a PayPal link in the description box if you're interested in that. But if, you know, you just want to extend a good heartwarming energy, always the like button is the best button. Subscribe button is, well, the first best button. And the ring notification bell, put it on all so you don't miss any of my readings, because this is gonna get funky, guys. I can feel it because I got my toys out and they're all so fluffy. And I have this little meerkat that I got from, I think, the Zagreb Zoo. And I'm just obsessed with meerkats because they're just like the funkiest, you know, prairie dogs. They just like stand like this, not giving a fuck, just like observing the path, the parameters, and yeah, they have the cutest little babies. And it's all about being, you know, coming back to your heart centers, coming back to your inner child, and not giving a fuck, right? I don't give a fuck what you care about my labubus because I got a whole secret one, right? First draw. Because I was already detached from the outcome, because each and every one is special to me, even if I have two of the same ones. They're different, right? Because whatever the universe gives you, it's needed. Whether it be a lesson or a fluffy, cute little pink bunny, right? But one I got from China has a little dent and has a lighter face. And this one from that my brother brought me from Barcelona, from the Pop Mart shop, is just super soft, and I can now wear one on my bag, which I'm super excited. And I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about my labubus, because they have reunited me with that part where I miss my doggy on the daily, and these are just so soft, just kind of like my doggy. So you know, it heals not just that part, but so many others. And it doesn't really matter what other people think about your quirky little nerdy things that you have at home, right? We're not in that era anymore. We are whoever we want to be. We can express however we want to express, but the more we keep the obstacles there, the more we're gonna trip over to on our path towards getting where we are supposed to be either way, right? Just the path sometimes gets diverted into another lesson because you haven't listened to yourself and your guides when you should have. And that's okay, because each year up until our pulverizing into dust and returning to Mother Gaia, we learn. We go through learning curves that are highly important, because that's why we decided to incarnate, to fix these things about our soul and understand that we are deserving of each and every good thing that happens. Sirens going off, guys. And these are very important things, because anything that is close to your heart, it's the most important thing for you. And nobody has the right to even try to affect that. So clearing out ill-intentioned people around you gives your heart the space to breathe, distress, see where you let yourself be unseen and unheard. Where do you let yourself express less? When you know that if you put your whole heart into it, it would sound better, it would look better, it would be different, it would be you even more. And nobody is repeatable, right? Even though our souls are eternal, and we have been here many times, depends on who you are watching, right? But for me, I feel like I've been in every timeline, just so I could witness this one as well. And I've enjoyed the ride, right? That's why I don't have a problem with pulverizing myself into dust at any point in time, because my mission was different than a musician's, or that of a, you know, I don't know, master archer, or whatever the fuck I want to be as well, right? But my mission is that much more important, because when I work from my heart, other people's hearts heal as well. So when you work from your heart, other people's souls come to life in kind of like a soul code activates, right? So we are all these it's like we're made of stardust, right? And of these cosmic webs and energies and interconnectedness and chemicals and minerals and metals and gases and you name it, right? We're made up of stardust. We are of the same components as the universe. Therefore, thinking so small keeps you stuck in your past timeline, right? And if you never think about it that way, then today is the day that you start reevaluating your material possessions, all of your relationships, friendships, everything that ever passed your timeline ever, and collapsing all of your past self into this current moment, and seeing yourself for what you are, and not putting yourself down for the first time. Because the more you go after what your heart wants, even if it's just to express an emotion that you know will be faced by a brick wall, you will go in and throughout multiple times from your heart space to show that you are different, that you have a mission of speaking up about something, or singing about something, or writing something. Whatever it is, it's something that you do best. And the more you do it the way you want to do it, the better it's gonna get. And nobody has the right to affect your creations, because there will always be haters, because you are a threat, right? You're a threat to anybody that started 5 years ago. You're already a threat, even though you're a novice, right? So as your new timelines activate, stay prayed up. Think about your coffee and other food and drink and smoke intakes. Those will be lowering because we will have a different focus in this next timeline. So 3113 could also be a significant portal number for you, that when you start seeing that number, you will feel like you are structured, balanced, and at home with yourself. So that's all I have for you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I love you guys so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.